had fun. We decided to do a little bit of twist on Books and Brews. Do you want to tell them about that?
Don't remember what our twist is.
We just did it last night. That came out wrong. Our twist. Our twist is that rather than start with the reading, stop laughing. Rather than start with the reading and pick cocktails, we're going to start with the cocktails and pick the reading. And we probably won't do that on any schedule because it's just me and Chris, and we go to a restaurant, and if there is an interesting cocktail, we'll film me drinking it, and then I'll pick a book. So what was it, last night or a few nights ago, we did the Kamikaze. And so I am going to pick, we've got the virtual background, but now you can see God's Samurai, which is a very fascinating book that I read all the way through about 3 years ago. And it's the story of Mitsuo Fuchida, and I can finally say that name without reading it, who led the pilots at Pearl Harbor in the attack on America. And by 1949, so within about 4 years of the end of the war, he had actually become a Christian and was traveling around America, at first very unsure, like, what reception am I going to get from Americans? I bombed them, I killed them, you know? And he was very surprised by the reception he got. So it's a fascinating. On your first book. Was that like the thrill of your life?
Oh yeah. It's not. I'm still thrilled. It hasn't worn off. I've always wanted to be a writer, and to publish something was, the ultimate dream. And
it really is.
And to have that experience, it's been enlightening. It's been eye-opening. It's been just so rewarding.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling to see your work in print.
Reading, and towards the end of the reading, you see the whole mentioning of the freak show, and knowing that some of this is taking place in the Victorian era. There actually is a cocktail called the Freak Show, which kind of dates back to the whole Victorian kind of predilection for looking at sideshows and freaks and things like that, and just commenting on them and having a great time. And this drink recipe actually dates back to this time. So I thought, what a great, way to kick off the drinks. So this, I've, done a little bit of pre-mixing, but we have some vodka, some blue curacao, lime juice, simple syrup, pineapple juice, and I'm going to shake that with some ice. So we'll get the ice in here. And after I finish shaking it, I'm going to pour it into a glass and top it off with a little bit of club soda. And as with every shaker, it pays to really keep a good grip on it, because they can definitely fly apart on you. So now we're going to pour it into the glass, and as you can see, there's the blue curacao is coming out with a nice blue color, and then like I said, I'll be topping it with a little bit of club soda here in just a second. Give it a little bit of fizz and fun to go with the Victorian era. So here is a little bit of club soda there, and club soda here. So now we have our freak show.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm wondering if this is going to taste anything like the electric blue one that we did with Patty Perrin.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in a spaceship for our virtual background for that. We should have used that this time.
Yes, indeed.
So I could drink that all night. That is really good. That's the kind of stuff that's very dangerous at frat parties.
Yes, indeed.
That's fantastic. first? The how did I phrase this? The book and the story and character of Laura, and then you researched UFOs, or did you know all about these UFO stories and work a story around those?
So I've always been interested in UFOs and aliens, and I had a lot of alien knowledge, and I was like, I got to do something with this, and and it was when it started heating up in the news and stuff. It started becoming pretty timely, and I was like, either I'm going to do a podcast, I'm going to write something nonfiction, or I'm going to return to like what I'm most comfortable with, which is fiction, and I opted to write fiction, but I also wanted to take a UFO story and kind of subvert it, make it more about the people, and make it something that could have been beautiful at one point. So yeah, I definitely was interested in UFOs and aliens for a very long time before writing this.
Yeah, and for potential readers, I hope that our listeners will read this. One of the things Stephanie does is layers in stories, actual UFO stories. We can't say for sure if they're true or not, but definitely actual reports that Stephanie did not make up. So I thought that was really well done as Laura searches for the truth of what happened to her. So, she doubts, did this really happen or not? Because she can't remember it. And I thought you did a great job layering this with how the reader is going to question too. Did her father make this up to get money? He gets to quit his factory job and make more money. And I thought it was just a brilliant way of telling this more common story, how there are so many mundane ways in which average people who haven't been abducted by UFOs don't necessarily know the truth about their own lives either. And, for instance, I was thinking somebody who grows up in a very dysfunctional family, they never know, am I doing something wrong? Why does my father hate me? Why can't I get things right? And it may take until well into their adult years before they really understand the truth of what's going on and who they are. And Laura's fighting with that. And so I think, as you say, you wanted to write about people, not about... I want to give a shout out. It's so ironic that I ended up interviewing you this month, because for those who are paying attention, I believe I said we'd be interviewing Wendy Jones this month, and life got very hectic for her. So then we were going to interview Teresa, who is your publisher. And between the three of us, we just couldn't find a date that matched. And so I ended up talking to someone about UFOs. And it was funny because I had just stumbled on, when I'm down there working with the rabbits and all, I always have videos playing. And I'm a complete political junkie. It's terrible. But I had recently switched to a channel called The Y Files, WHY. Have you ever heard of this channel?
No, it makes me think of the X-Files.
Exactly. And I think he based it on that. It sounds like the letter Y, but then it's WHY. And I love his program because he delves into all of this type of stuff, alien abductions and time travel and all these stories that are told and that go around the internet. And he details the people and the evidence for it. And then at a certain point, he says, it's a great story, but is it true? And he goes into the evidence for and against as much as there is. And he also, I just I don't know, a day or two ago, listened to a video where he talks about this idea that we actually create these UFOs and so on. And so I have to ask you, having written a book about UFOs, I'm sure you've now got people asking you, do you believe they're real?
I absolutely do. And I'll tell you a story that's it feeds into both of those ideas. I woke up in the middle of the night and I sleep through the night. I'm not the kind of person to toss and turn. I'm out, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought I have to go outside. And I don't go outside in the day. Like, why am I going outside at night? So I went out in the middle of the night. I sat down on a stool and I looked up at the sky and I thought, I'm going to see something. And sure enough, and this is actually something that kind of happened to Laura too. I kind of incorporated this into her tale. But a small red glowing orb went very slowly across the sky. And I thought, yep, that was what I was coming out here to see. I was meant to see that. But as I sat there, I started to doubt, maybe that was a shooting star. I haven't seen a shooting star in 15 years. I don't know what a shooting star looks like. And no sooner had I thought that, a shooting star rocketed by, and it was white, and it was
wow.
And I was like, okay. And I ran back into the house and I went back to sleep. But it felt like I had interfaced with something greater. I don't want to sound too woo, I guess, but I definitely felt like I had an experience, and that was right before I started.
You're also an artist. What kind of art do you do?
So I mainly make jewelry and accessories. I do a little bit of drawing, but I really like acrylic, and I like clear acrylic in particular. So I'll draw something and then I'll laser engrave it onto some acrylic, and I assemble it into an earring. Yeah, and I've been doing that for about 6 years now. And it's been really rewarding. I for a while it was my full-time job, which was incredible to get to live off of my art. Like that was my dream, and it was really fun. But I mostly do earrings. That seems what the demand is for. I've done like little necklaces and bowls.
Pastime is buying me earrings. I don't know if
cool.
you can.
She has a whole
Yeah,
I do.
that's awesome.
He loves to buy me
pretty.
earrings. I like these ones. They're like little feathers hanging down. Yeah,
those are cool. I like those.
So you have some drawings to show us, don't you?
Well, I have some earrings on hand here. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my UFO stuff on me right now, and I also did an earring of the lunar landing module. I get real nerdy with it, but let's see here. So I'll do a lot of nature stuff. I do a lot of spooky stuff. So these ones, I don't know how if you'll be able to see them. They probably have fingerprints on them.
Pretty. But you did
these are. Yep, I drew them and I laser engraved them and cut them out, and it's clear acrylic, so like it's see through.
That's beautiful. What kind of equipment you need to make that?
So I have 2 Glowforge laser cutters, and they're not the best laser cutters. You can get cheaper ones, you can get faster ones, but at the time that's what I ended up getting, and it's been really nice. I started out with a Cricut, which is like kind of a plotter machine, and and so I started with those, and then it's very much a very easy leap from a Cricut to a Glowforge. The software is very similar. So I just kind of threw myself into that.